recommend that everyone learns real estate. If you're not ready to give the time to learn real estate, then you should be careful. Something that promises to give you money while you cannot work, I think it's something that you should give a little attention to.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video, guys. Today I am with an amazing personality, okay? Someone who is changing the narrative of Delta State, bringing the youth together, empowering them, and also bringing investors down to the state. He is no other person than Mr. Chioma, the CEO of Greenfield properties here in Asaba, the capital city of Delta State, Nigeria. Guys, today he's going to take us through everything you need to know before buying or investing in real estate here in Delta State, like the core things you need to know before investing in real estate here in Delta State. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on my channel.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
So, for those people at the back seat that did not hear when I introduced, please can you introduce yourself again and your company?
Okay, my name is Agbor Delta, CEO of Greenfield Properties here in the city of Asaba.
Okay, thank you so much. My first question, I have a lot of questions for you, okay? So my first question is like, first of all, how is the real estate business here in Delta State?
It's good, it's lucrative, the demand is high. Second Naija Bridge, the local bridge, the projects here and there by the state government. It's making the real estate business here very lucrative, so it's fine.
Okay, so why do you think someone should come and invest in real estate here in Delta State?
Well, because Onitsha, which is the largest commercial city in Africa, is fully saturated. Most people who do business there come here to buy lands for residential purposes, and also the city Asaba has experienced or has enjoyed security over the years. The insecurity in other states and other parts of Nigeria has not affected Asaba at all. So it is one of the choice areas for people who actually want to make investments in real estate.
Okay. So now, from what I'm doing right now, like I'm trying to get into the real estate business. So I've been reading a lot and I've been watching a lot of videos about it and trying to learn. So now with me going to different places here in Delta State to look for like people that are into this business, I get to work with a lot of realtors, like agents. At the same time, I've gotten opportunity to speak with some buyers, or let's say clients, right? And I've got to know that most people, they don't want to invest, they just want to buy property, and that's all. They just want to buy. So now my question is, at what point would you call someone a real estate investor or just a buyer? Like, is there any difference between a buyer and an investor?
Okay, a buyer is someone who buys real estate without knowledge. Is an ignorant person, just maybe because they feel they should buy land, they bought the land ignorantly. And the effect of that is it doesn't have most times any good effect. The buyer might be surprised after many years that I bought a land and it has appreciated. I am happy I bought, but an investor is certain. There's a statement I make most of the time. The future is uncertain, but the future of a real estate investment is certain. So an investor is someone who knows that the future of a real estate investment is certain. So they are calculative. They know that, okay, I'm putting this money here. I'm very sure that I'm going to make XYZ amount of money after so and so time. So an investor is entirely different from someone who buys land. Yes. So an investor buys with knowledge. A buyer is just buying because it's a popular trend. I have money, I bought every other thing that I need, let me go and now buy land. But an investor can actually buy a land before buying every other thing that they need.
Okay. So now for someone who is just starting up, like you want to be an investor, right?
Yes.
What are the questions you should ask yourself before going into it? Because I feel like just like every other business, just like you said, as an investor, you go in knowing what you're going into, not ignorantly. So how will you know what you're going into? What are the questions? Like, are there questions you should ask yourself? Are there things you should know before you go into it?
Okay. Uh, the basic question is, why am I buying? You know, as an investor, someone who wants to get into real estate, you should know why you're buying. You know, when we talk about investors, most people who don't have a lot of money in their account tend to put themselves aside as if, no, I'm not an investor. Do I have money? How will I call myself an investor? Now, anybody at any level can become an investor. But the question you need to ask yourself is, why am I buying? So if I have small money, I don't have enough money, and I want to get into real estate investment, first, I should know that I'm buying for short term. So what you're going to be doing is what we call property flipping. So you buy and sell within the shortest possible time at the least possible profit. You buy another one, you continue flipping properties like that for a period of time. If you continue doing that for a minimum of 1 year, a maximum of 2 years, you have enough money to now buy and keep. Now, if you now buy and keep, how long do I want to buy and keep? That's another thing you should decide. You know, properties are not bought in a hurry and should not be sold in a hurry. So if you buy a property and you don't have money at all to even feed, you might be in a hurry to sell. It will affect the price that you would sell. So, but if you've asked yourself the question of why you are buying, you will now know, okay, I'm buying because I want to keep for a long time. Okay, if I'm buying and I'm keeping for a long time, do I have money to sustain myself for 2 years before I'll be ready to sell this property? Now, if you've answered these questions, you now know that, okay, I can now buy and keep for 2 years. Now, if you're buying also because you want to build a house, maybe because you want to rent out and all that, also factor that you need money to also start erecting the building, how long it will take you to get the money to erect the building, what kind of location you should buy. So if I want to buy a property and I don't have money to build now, but the intention is to buy and build, then I know that I should buy a property that can actually give me some change and some time to start the building, maybe start the foundation and all quietly. Then before I complete the building, the whole area is saturated with buildings. You know, so there are some considerations you should make if you want to become an investor. But the basic one is, why are you buying? You must answer that question, and you should be able to go around that question first before embarking on buying any property.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question, right? Like before like before you look for a realtor or real estate developer or even a real estate company like yours, what are the things you should look out for? Let's say I want to invest in your company or with your company. What are the things I should look out for when I'm looking for companies to work with or real estate developers or just people in the industry? What are the things I should be looking out for when I'm looking for these people?
Okay, there are some things we overlook maybe because of acquaintances or information that we heard over the airwaves or print medias or YouTube or Facebook or social media networks and all that. And you know, they tend to want to blind us our eyes to the things that are necessary that we should do when looking out for companies to actually invest in. You know, there are some things, there are some boxes that we must check. It's a must. So even though I know the company and I trust the company, I know this company is a big company, this company, I've dealt with them in the past, where they are genuine, it doesn't guarantee that they would continue to remain genuine. All boxes must be ticked. So nothing guarantees that the property is genuine until every box is ticked. Now, there's a mistake people also make, that a company is genuine doesn't mean that the property is genuine. A company is entirely different from a property. A company, somebody can go and register a company and start functioning as a company. It doesn't mean that every property that they have as a company is genuine. So every property you want to buy needs to be properly vetted. Now, these processes are very simple, but it's just that people are either ignorant or too lazy to actually go that route. The simple question is, can I see the titles or the document that shows or proof that this property belongs to this company? The company brings the documents, you look at them, you either snap them, then you take the information you find, you go maybe to the Ministry of Lands or to the community to confirm if this company had already had an agreement or an arrangement with the community, they've paid, at what level the commitment have they made, is the land theirs and all that. You get all this information before you actually make your investment. Now, this is actually the job of a realtor, because most investors might not have the time to do that. That is why we're training realtors here at Sabi Agent, so that they understand how to do these things and help investors do that. Now there are people who are buying lands who are based abroad, so they don't have the time to actually do these checks. So that's where a realtor should come in. A qualified realtor can help you do all these checks so that your investment will be safe and secure. Now it is easier to sell a genuine land than to sell a fake land, because if you're selling a fake land, it will be difficult for you to provide any legal documents covering that land. But a genuine land, once you ask the person for any papers, it is easy for the person to provide you with documents showing that the person is the owner of the land. Now there are some things I do to check if a property or a company is genuine. Number one is the swiftness with which they use in providing the document or the titles to the lands that they want to sell. Number two is the level of development in the estate, what they've done already on the land. Have they taken possession of the land? Are there works going on the land? Are there signs on the land that this company owns this particular property? These are some of the little background checks you can do that can give you a light whether the property or the company you're about to invest in it is genuine. But like I said before, the company can be genuine. With all good intentions, the company was open to sell land. But the unfortunate thing is that the particular land that you're interested in buying might not be genuine, because you did not do your checks to find out if it is genuine or not. So it's important that you do your checks if the property is genuine. If a property is genuine and the company is not genuine, you're actually safe, because the property is genuine and the company actually genuinely acquired it. But something happened with the company, maybe administrative error or an issue with an internal issue with the company, it would not affect the land, because the land is genuine and you paid and you got all your titles correct. But if the company is genuine and the land is not genuine, then there's an issue with your investment.
Okay, so for like, let's say now I want to invest with your company now. Is it, and I tell you about a particular land I want to buy, it's not your duty to provide or check if the property is genuine?
No, the investor, anybody who is buying a property, has 100% responsibility of verifying if the property is genuine. This is something that people keep making a mistake over and over. I've said before that there are people who are businessmen who have a business doing real estate that have stormed the real estate industry because they feel it is a booming business. It is something that people are doing to make money now. So they just join the business. They don't have any idea of how real estate business should be done. So the responsibility of keeping your money safe is on you, the investor. So a simple question of, can I see the titles or the documents with which you used in buying, can actually save you from making a wrong investment. Just that simple question can actually save you from making a wrong investment. But I did realize in my 5 years of selling land, I've sold lands to over not exaggerating, over 3,000 persons. Now, out of these 3,000 persons, I don't think I have up to 20 persons who come to buy land and ask me of the titles of the land. The reason is because they just see that I'm talking well, the way I explain things to them. They are satisfied with the way that I explain the whole idea of the investment to them, and they feel that explanation is enough. It suffices for them doing due diligence for this land. I advise and I strongly recommend that you ask questions. Just a simple question: can I see the documents with which you use in buying this land?
Yeah, you talk about due diligence, yeah, because I've been reading a lot, I've been watching a lot of videos, and when the issue of due diligence came up, I'm like, oh no, a lot of people have been making a lot of mistakes. Like, sometimes you buy property and if they search deep, it's no longer for you.
Yes.
So, like, tell us, what is due diligence like for people who don't understand?
Okay, let me just give an insight on due diligence. Now, it starts from you asking, are you the owner of the land? The person would answer and say, yes. Can I see the document showing that you are the owner of the land? He gives you a document, let's say a deed of assignment, a CFO, a registered surveyor, and all that. You start to vet that document. Now, in that deed of assignment, there's an agreement between the person you bought from and you who wants to sell. So we check the agreement and what is contained there. Most times we give to a lawyer to help us properly interpret. Now, in that document also is contained the history, a brief history
Oh,
about that
yeah.
land, so I can know where to go to ask questions
Question.
about the authenticity of that land. Mostly there's contention between two persons over that land. I can go to one or two places and get that information. Now I can be directed and properly guided where to go in that deed. Now if I have not asked you for a deed, then I don't know who you bought from. I don't know the community you dealt with. I don't know where to go to find out if the land is genuine. Then before we can now progress to checking if the land has been lodged and whose name it has been lodged, I'm going to the Ministry of Lands to do all that check and all that to ensure that the land is genuine. Now, a few days ago, someone brought a property and said it's for sale. I told him, have you seen the titles to the land? He said yes, that they're giving them the titles and all that. Just today, he came and he's telling me that they went and they started doing due diligence as I recommended, and they discovered that where the person is actually pointing that it's his property, the person had already built on that space, but that space is not actually the person's own. When they chart the place, they discover that the person's land is 2 plots away from where he built his house. You see, just a little outing just to confirm if a property is genuine, they found out this. So due diligence is less expensive than buying. It's not expensive to do due diligence. How can you want to buy a property of 5 million, 10 million, and you cannot spend 20 to 30,000 just to confirm if the property is genuine? So these are some of the mistakes people make.
So now, because even when I was reading about certificate of occupancy, right? Because in my head, once a property has certificate of occupancy, that's all. There's nothing else. But with more reading and research, I found out that sometimes that your certificate of occupancy might be sitting on something else. Like let's assume you might have a property now, you're giving the certificate of occupancy here. I might not know that you bought this land from someone else and that person gave you that certificate of occupancy, and then some years have already gone by because it's supposed to be 99 years.
Yes.
And now in my head I have certificate of occupancy and it's 99 years, not knowing that let's say 20 years has already gone out of the 99 years.
Yes.
So can you really explain more, let people know that this is important? It's not about buying land of 2 million naira, you take the papers, go to your house and relax. Then 20 years down the line is no longer yours, and people they will actually come and tell you this land does not belong to you again because this is it. Do you understand?
Okay, with respect to C of O, before you get a C of O to a property, you must have had other titles with which you use and apply to get a C of O. So that a C of O had crossed the 99 years expiry date period doesn't mean that the land is no longer genuine. There are other titles too that are backing the land apart from the C of O. You don't just go and apply for a C of O without other titles. You must present first other titles to prove that the land is your own. Like a registered survey and a deed of assignment showing that you actually bought the land from somebody. So if they confirm and see that the land actually is yours, then they issue you a C of O. So even if the C of O expires, you still have other titles to show that the land is your own. So I don't think there's any cause for panic in that respect. Yes, there's no cause for panic.
Okay.
Yes.
But according to what you talked about earlier when you were talking to us during the seminar, you said that you can't get the certificate of occupancy twice. So once you get it, that is it forever. Because I was thinking that you can renew CFO.
Well, it's not up to 99 years, and I've not done
Okay.
to know what will happen after that 99 years if people are going to renew, and if the renewal is going to be the old owner or the person who actually applied before for the CFO. But we're going to do further research and find out how that pans out.
Okay, but since the law was implemented,
it's not up to 99 years.
Okay. So now, from what we've been talking about, like CFO, due diligence, all those things, for someone who is new in the industry or someone who wants to go into real estate business, how do I need, not even someone who wants to go into the business, someone who just wants to invest, do I need to learn real estate, all these technologies, all these due diligence certificate, do I need to learn before I invest? Let's say I have money now, 5 million and I want to invest with a Greenfield properties. So now me that don't know anything about anything, I won't buy land, I want to just buy land. No, say okay, I will get profit from it. Do I need to go and start learning all these terminologies or even know the policies guiding the real estate?
Well, for me, I recommend that everyone learns real estate. You know, if you're not ready to give the time to learn real estate, then you should be careful how you actually check. You know, most people they get a realtor who stand in place for them to ensure that their investments are secure. You know, the realtor uses their vast knowledge of real estate to help them and guide them make the right decision. You know, but unlike every other thing that you have learned, me, I think real estate is one of the most important things that you should learn. Because when man was created, man was given the Garden of Eden to tend, which is real estate. You know, so God has given us real estate to tend, to look over. So it is something that everybody should be interested in learning. You know, something that promises to give you money while you cannot work. I think it's something that you should give a little attention to. You know, so it doesn't take years to learn real estate. You know, so if you're interested in real estate, you like buying land, take out time to study some things, few things about land and the laws governing it, so that your investment will be safe and secure. Now, there's one challenge that people face investing in land. People spend money to buy land and go home start worrying whether the land is genuine or fake. You know, you just wasted money because you spent your money in buying land, but it is costing you something that money cannot buy. Your peace of mind is gone because you made an investment in real estate. You are not certain if the investment is secure or not. You know what causes that is because you don't have accurate knowledge about how to invest in real estate. Now it is that knowledge that gives you peace of mind after you must have bought, because when you buy land, what you take home is a piece of paper. The land is stationed somewhere. You know what gives you the assurance that the land is your own after many years is the knowledge you have about the process of acquisition of land, and you are sure that you've ticked all boxes when actually trying to acquire that land.
So it's very important for you to learn.
Yes, it is very important for you to learn. To learn means to ask questions. What is this thing? What is that? And if I want to do this, how does it go? And all that. You know, if this business goes sour, how do I retrieve my money back? What are the consequences to this and this? You know, most times I say that when your money is still in your account, that is the time and the opportunity you have to do all your findings, to ask all your questions. Once your money leaves your account, it's a bad time to start doing findings, because some of the things that you will find out at that time might start making you become afraid of your investment in real estate. So before buying, do your findings.
Even like it's also very important for you to get like a real estate lawyer, like get a lawyer that knows.
You know, in my experience in real estate, what I discovered is that there are different kinds of lawyers. We have industrial lawyers, we have criminal lawyers, we have property lawyers, you know, so there are different kinds of lawyers. So most times these lawyers choose their profession based on what they feel it might favor them in the law field and all that, in their profession and all that. So I might be unlucky and I stumble at a criminal lawyer and I'm asking him to help me do a property matter. You know, so that's another issue. You know, so but at times the knowledge you require to buy a genuine property takes time. It's not something you study in the school. That a lawyer is a property lawyer doesn't mean the lawyer knows the owner of my property that is in Uzo or in Ogwash. No, the lawyer needs to wake up, go to the place, do an investigation. Now the same process that lawyer will take to do that, you too can do it. You can go to the community and ask questions. You see, so the lawyer can get some information. Even if I ask a lawyer to do a due diligence for me, I also will not trust that the lawyer had done anything. I can still wake up one morning and still go and do my own due diligence to find out if the information I got is exactly the same as what the lawyer also got.
Okay, so yeah, that's now my next question is, cause like coming from where I'm coming from, right? I've seen people quarrel over community developmental, call it develop. You understand? So and at a point, I started seeing that as an illegal thing, like the way people will fight, the way like the harassment and everything. Like in my head, I started seeing it as an illegal practice until I started reading and saw that okay, this is actually not illegal, but you know. So what is developmental fee?
Okay, although it has been abolished here in Delta State, COA has abolished it, yes, that we should not give any youth money we should not pay money to anybody, so that they want the city to actually develop rapidly, more rapidly than it is actually doing at the moment. So they're trying to encourage investors to cut that out, that development fee and all those other charges called local government fees and all that. But for estate, development fee doesn't just mean money you pay to the community or to the youth. There's something called infrastructural development fee. It is the money that the estates use, the estate company uses to develop the estate, like to create wood, fence, put security gate house, and do all that. It is called infrastructural development fee. That one also exists. But formally here we had development fee, the one you have to pay to the communities and the youth, so that they can permit you to build on the land. Yes, but that one has been abolished by the state government.
Yeah, because when the issue was so much, I got some comments from people like asking me, Mary, talk about developmental videos. So like, and then when I started asking people back there in Warri, they were like, the money is used to develop the community, because they were trying to explain to me why they take the money, that the developmental fee they pay to the community, and then the community use the money to like pay, like do develop the community. So now that the government has abolished that, like cancelled that, that means you're not supposed, if you buy properties outside of the estate,
yeah, you're not supposed to pay. No. But if you buy within estate, then you have to, because there are some basic development too that this estate bring into the place that causes the place to appreciate. Like the internal road network within an estate is a project of the estate company. The clearing of the land and ensuring that the place is clear and is attractive for buyers is something that the estate company do. They actually reinvest in the land to ensure that the place appreciates. And if you have a plot within the estate and you do all this development within that location, it causes the value of your own land within the estate to also appreciate.
Okay, so now no more developmental fee.
Yes, it has been abolished. It has been publicly announced. They went around with radio and all that. Even on radio, they talked about it. So they went around with the speakers, they shared flyers and all that. So they abolished it. I also saw a circular sent by Oshimili South local government, Oshimili North local government channel that people should not pay. I think I saw it on my phone. I'll confirm. Yes.
Okay, now so talking about real estate here in Delta State, what are the real estate investment opportunities that you think are good here in Delta State? Like, what are the real estate opportunities, good real estate investment opportunities available here in Delta State?
Okay, here, I've been here for 5 years and I've seen that the prices of house rent actually go up almost every 3 months. So the demand for house is high here in Asaba. In fact, there's shortage of houses for people to rent, which is actually causing the surge in the rise of the demand for house for people to rent. So anybody who is actually buying the land and build a house for people to rent would get people to rent and live in the house very quickly, because there's a high demand for houses here in Asaba. It is because the city is just adjacent to the largest commercial city, which is Onitsha. So it is causing a high demand for residential houses here in Asaba. Also, we've seen the rise of new hotels in several locations in Asaba too, which is also making Asaba look like a tourist center where people come to relax. Some persons going to the east, going to their villages, end up lodging here, going to the village, coming back to stay in Asaba. So this is also increasing the visibility of the city, which is in turn increasing the demand for land and properties here in Asaba. So there are persons who initially do not have any interest in buying land in Asaba or living in Asaba, but because of the insecurity in the east, they come and spend time in Asaba, they lodge in a hotel and visit the east during the day and come back before it is night. So they've seen the city. So there's a desire for them to own either a plot or a building or have a property here in the city of Asaba. So this is actually one of the reasons increasing the demand, one of the reasons why there's an increasing demand for properties here in Asaba.
Okay, so now what are the best ways to invest in real estate here in Delta State? Can you just give us like expo, plain sheets, no stress?
Well, buy land. My advice to people in Asaba is that they should buy land. Buy land. Take advantage of this opportunity. Because most communities that are adjacent or very close to Asaba. They've exhausted their lands. There's an increasing demand for land here in Asaba. So before you know it, people have actually taken good positions. That within a short time you can see an investment of 2 million become 10 to 15 million. In fact, there's an investment I made. This one is not. Somebody told me 2 years ago it was 3.5 million. As we speak, it is 15 million naira. Just 2 years ago. When I say 2 years ago, I'm talking about, we're in 2020, but I'm talking about 2021. We are just in 2023. So 2020, this is the second month. So it's not even up to 2 years. Just 1 year. It's currently, as we speak, it is 15 million naira. If you go there, you will be told. I'm not quoting the price. It is the value of the land around that location. So this is a rapid increase in price. So anybody who is actually looking at investing in Asaba should not give it a second thought. The only thing you need is guidance. You need to be guided so that you make the right investment.
Okay, so tell us about Greenfield Properties. What's the company about?
Okay, Greenfield Property, like I said, and I always say, it is a property that was built for humanity. So we put humanity first. What we mean is our interest comes second. The interest of the customer is first our priority. Now, our priority is that people can buy land and go and sleep and rest and not think or regret that they made an investment in real estate. That is our number one priority. And also, we want to be sure that the investments that we encourage people to buy can give them or would give them high return on investment. In fact, there's one of our estates we sold, Justice Court, which we have the banner here. We sold for 3.5. In fact, we stopped selling at 3.5. And when we stopped selling that estate at 3.5, after a few months, I think less than 6 months, I had a customer who we took to the side just to look at estates that we've sold out, and he was offering to give us 6 million if we were able to make one plot available for the customer there. That it gives us joy to see that the investment that people made with us turn out to give them high return on investment within a very short period of time. Even our prices are considered first. We put serious considerations before we put out these prices. We want to be sure that at this rate, within this period of time, this customer can make so and so amount of money because they invested with us. So we don't just heap too much cost on the land. We want to be sure that customers will have return on investment within a short time. Maximum 6 months, the customer should be able to make reasonable amount of return on investments on their properties that they acquire with us.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming on the channel. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
So
for
guys,
having me.
you've heard from him, you heard from Greenfield Properties here in Asaba. So I'll put all the details in the description box and also on the screen. Make sure to invest with a trustworthy company. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace out.